जाके देख रिकॉर्ड में कौन है, इंसान है कि भगवान।
तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं।
Hi guys, welcome to Screen Guru. So here I am with the most important defense current affairs part 2 of 5 series, and this series is very important for all the exams which will be upcoming in the 2022 year, and that is because, as already discussed in the first video, that is the part 1 of this series. तो अगर आपने वो नहीं देखा हो तो please do have a check it out so that you know why we are starting with these particular months. So today we will be looking into the December 2021 most important defense current affairs. So the very first is our pride, that is the BSF. The Border Security Force is celebrating its 57th raising day on 1st December 2021. It has celebrated, sorry for the celebrating word. Okay, it celebrated its 57th raising day. This is important, and now you should know that when it was formed. So BSF was formed on 1st December 1965, and you all are aware that we had two wars in 1965, that is Indo-Pak War. It was also known as the biggest war in which the tanks took part after the World War II, and we also had Indo-China War, right? Indo-China War 1962. सो इन दीज पर्टिकुलर मतलब वो डेकेड में वॉर्स जो हुए थे उसके बाद ये फॉर्म किया गया था, बिकॉज देर वॉज अ स्पेसिफिक नेसेसिटी फॉर अ स्पेशल डेडिकेटेड फोर्स इन दैट पर्टिकुलर रीजन, एंड हेंस आर BSF वॉज फॉर्म्ड. मूविंग अहेड, Indian shipbuilder Garden Reed Shipbuilders and Engineers, this is a new name, please star mark it, and it has launched its first large survey vessel, that is INS Sandhayak. So it is the first large survey vessel, remember that. Okay, this is the first large survey vessel. I am repeating it again and again because it has become a superlative, so it can also be asked in the static GK portion or the static GK section of the exam. And the name is INS Sandhayak. So how many of them are going to be built? That is 4 ships. So it is the first in the series of 4 ships, and that will be built under the survey large vessel project. Sorry for the spelling mistake here, that is SS. Moving ahead to our next news, that is the 11th edition of exercise Equirine India and Maldives has took place, and that was held in the Kadu Island, that is in Maldives. And Equirine means friends in Dwehi language, and that is also a Indo-Aryan language, and some more knowledge about it. So this language is also spoken in our Lakshadweep region. ठीक है, लक्षद्वीप में जो लोग हैं वो ये लैंग्वेज में बात भी करते हैं, that is Dwehi language. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, anyway, we'll move ahead to our next current affairs, that is the PANEX exercise 2021. So it is a humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise. It happens most of the times. It happens mostly every year, right? So it is a humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise, and it is held for BIMSTEC countries. Now BIMSTEC का full form है Bay of Bengal इनिशिएटिव फॉर, इसके आगे का आप मुझे बताओगे, ठीक है, कमेंट सेक्शन में. मुझे पूरा पता है, लेकिन कुछ यार कमेंट में करने के लिए आपको कुछ चाहिए ना, तो कमेंट करिएगा इसके आगे. तो मैंने आपको हिंट दे दिया, दैट इज बे ऑफ बंगाल इनिशिएटिव फॉर. ओके, द कंट्रीज आर भूटान, बांग्लादेश, नेपाल, म्यांमार, श्रीलंका, इंडिया एंड थाईलैंड. रिमेंबर दैट. ओके, मूविंग अहेड to our next news, that is the President of India Ramnath Kovind ji has presented the President's Standard. This is important, star market, to the 22nd Missile Vessel Squadron of the Indian Navy. So if you are preparing for Indian Navy, or if there is any upcoming SSB for the Indian Navy, if you are going, please make sure you know or you have some knowledge about the Indian Navy and the naval ships. So the 22nd Missile Squadron is also known as Killer Squadron. Okay, and it has also marked the 50 years of inception of the missile vessel squadron. ये squadron के 50 साल भी पूरे हुए थे, and it has been presented with the President's Standard. So it again played a huge role in our war with Pakistan. Okay, if you remember the incident, please comment it down. We will move ahead to our next news, that is India and Russia signed a contract, and we are talking about in December. There is already the Russia has given provided or exported these things, and the indigenous production has already started. ठीक है, मतलब उन्होंने टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सपोर्ट कर दी है, एंड देयर इज ऑलरेडी द इंडिजिनियस प्रोडक्शन एज वेल एज हैंड ओवर हैज़ बीन टेकन प्लेस टू द इंडियन आर्मी. But in the December 2021, the contract was signed for the indigenous production of 6 lakh. The number is important and the name of the rifle is important. That is AK-203. The number is important. Kalashnikov rifles, and that will be produced at Korwa in UP, that is Uttar Pradesh. We will move ahead to our next news, next current affair. That is the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has inaugurated Wall of Fame 1971 Indo-Pak War at, this is the full name, Wall of Fame 1971 Indo-Pak War at India Gate Lawns in New Delhi. So there can be question like, where is the Wall of Fame 1971 Indo-Pak War located? So it is at India Gate Lawns in New Delhi. And we were also celebrating Swarnim Vijay Parva, that is commemorating 50 years of India's victory in 1971. So 2021 year was also a Swarnim Vijay Parva. Okay, and we have all completed 50 years now. So in 2022 it will be 51. Moving ahead to our next news. So you have something related to helicopter, right? Here the blade is visible and here the tires are visible, so it is something related to helicopter. Let's look at it. So DRDO has successfully flight tested the indigenously designed and developed helicopter launched standoff anti-tank missile. Okay, this is gonna be very important. सैंट बोल सकते हो, संत बोल सकते हो, और कुछ भी स्पेल कर लो, बस याद रख लो. दिस इज संत मिसाइल दैट इज लॉन्च फ्रॉम अ हेलीकॉप्टर. सो इट इज़ यूनिक एंड इट कैन बी आस्क्ड. हेलीकॉप्टर लॉन्च एंड इट इज़ अ एंटी टैंक मिसाइल. फुल फॉर्म याद रखना है, स्टैंड ऑफ एंटी टैंक मिसाइल. सो इट वॉज लॉन्च फ्रॉम रशियन ओरिजिन M35 helicopter gunship. Now whenever there is Russia in the current affairs, it becomes important because needless to say the Russia-Ukraine war. So it is a Russian origin, so it can be asked like M35 is from which origin, from which country, that is Russia. Okay, you need to know that it is from Russia. It has a Russian origin, that is M35 helicopter. Moving ahead to our next news, that is India has successfully test fired SMART, that is supersonic missile assisted torpedo. Now whenever there is torpedo, it becomes Indian Navy. And Indian Navy के लिए बनाया जा रहा है ये. So it has India successfully test fired SMART. You should remember the short form as well as the full form, and it is of Balasore Coast, Odisha. So it is a torpedo missile. Moving ahead, Hull signs contract with BAIL for development and supply. This is फिर नहीं यार, for development and supply of 20 types of systems for 83 LCA, that is light combat aircraft. Light combat aircraft, and the name is Tejas Mark 1A fighter aircraft program. Okay, तो किसके साथ किया है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट? बेल के साथ, that is भारत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स लिमिटेड. Okay, that is BAIL, and H stands for Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. That is Hull. So Hull has signed contract with BAIL. Okay, remember that. Moving ahead to our next news, that is India successfully test fired nuclear capable ballistic missile, that is Agni Prime. So there was a question in the last time CDS or NDA paper, Agni Prime, as much as I remember. So the range is 1000 km to 2000 km. उसकी रेंज पूछी गई थी, तो उसके लिए मैंने आपको बता भी दिया. एंड इट इज़ अगेन अ बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल, तो सरफेस टू सरफेस है. S2S लिख देता हूँ मैं, S2S, that is surface to surface missile. So the next news is about the Indian Navy, and here we are looking, let's read the news. That is on Goa Liberation Day, that is 19 December, Indian Navy stealth guided missile destroyer, that is Mormugao, went for maiden sea trials. Maiden sea trials means the first sea trials. So very dope looking ship, right? It has a very macho look, right? And it is being built by the Mazgaon Dock shipbuilders. So guys, I will also like to point out something where we are studying the most important defense current affairs, so I would like to point out that whenever you're trying to read anything from any type of book, any type of subject, any type of other thing, try to relate it and try to get a deeper insight into it. Try to have a little bit more curiosity. Like, you can directly mention 19 December, right? But I have mentioned it is a Goa Liberation Day, so that it encourages and enhances your knowledge. We are taking an insight into the current affairs. Also, when we are reading into the current affairs, we need to have a look into the geography, into the history, into political science, into geography. Like, we saw some of the islands, we saw some of the history related to the Vedi language, we saw many more things. So in such a way, you will not get bored. It will be interesting for you, as well as you will enhance your knowledge, not just about that specific subject, but an overall idea, an overall understanding of that particular topic. Okay, so have a look into the history. So whenever you are reading this news, just revise this thing. It is related to history, it is not related to current affairs, right? But this current affairs will make sure, if you are reading it in my style, or if you are trying to take it in my approach, as I have told you, you will easily revise different things, different subjects all together in a single approach, in a single study. Okay, so I hope you got my point. Moving ahead to our next news, that is India has successfully test fired indigenously developed surface to surface missile Pralay, and its range is 150 to 500 km, and it is based on Prithvi defense vehicle. So there is also Prithvi missile, right? आपको उसका रेंज बताना है मुझे. I will tell you that it is a surface to surface missile. रेंज मुझे बताइएगा, पृथ्वी मिसाइल का रेंज क्या है. Moving ahead to our next news, that is the Indian Air Force has deployed first squadron of S-400 air defense missile system, and that is in the Western Punjab sector. Question can be asked, in which sector it has been deployed. So it is in the Western Punjab sector, and there will be total 5 squadrons which will be provided, and the deal is worth 35,000 crores. तो करोड़ में कितने ज़ीरो होते हैं यार? 7 होते हैं ना. चलिए 7 बना दिए, एंड ये 3 ऐड होंगे, 1 2 3, और यहाँ 35. तो इतने रुपीज़ की डील है ये. चलिए मूविंग अहेड ऑन अ फनियर साइड. दैट वाज जस्ट ऑन अ फनियर साइड. ओके, मूविंग अहेड. देन next news is the Indian Army has launched contemporary messaging app, and that has been named ASIGMA. So this is the symbol, remember it. ASIGMA full form is Army Secure Indigenous Messaging Application. See, have a look. यही है ना, आज वो मेंशन किया वो लोग ने. तो अगर आपको लोगो याद रहता है तो लोगो से पढ़िए, अगर आपको ऐसे सेंटेंस में याद रह रहा है सेंटेंस में पढ़िए, या फिर नोट बनाइए. एंड इट इज़ एन अल्टरनेटिव टू अवान. ओके, सो अवान इज आर्मी वाइड एरिया नेटवर्क. Moving ahead to our next news, that is about INS Kukri. It is a sad news. So it was first indigenously built missile corvette, and it has been decommissioned, and that is after 32 years of service. Okay, quite a sad news though. Moving ahead, DRDO flight tested HEAT, that is Heat High Speed Expendable Aerial Target Abhyas. Okay, have a look. It looks like a launcher, some kind of specific type of launcher. Moving ahead to our next news, that is DRDO has selected Paras Defense and Space Technologies for handling over technology of border surveillance systems. Okay, so it has selected this particular private institute, that is Paras Defense Space Technologies, and that is handling over of technology related to border surveillance. It again points it out, or it again should get your curiosity, or you should have a question in your mind that if there is border surveillance system, BSF should come in your mind. And when BSF comes into your mind, what should come in your mind is about the geography. Where is BSF located? And what should be the next question? That should be about when it's raising day. Is it come under the Central Armed Police Forces? Is it come under a specific type of defense forces, or is it come under the defense forces of India? Okay, the military defense, the armed forces of India. Okay, तो ये आपकी यार क्यूरियोसिटी आपकी बढ़ानी चाहिए, और आपके पास मन में क्वेश्चंस आने चाहिए. कोई भी एक टॉपिक पढ़ो, उससे कुछ रिलेट करने की कोशिश करो, उसकी हिस्ट्री, ज्योग्राफी, पॉलिटिक्स, करंट अफेयर्स, उससे रिलेट करने की कोशिश करो, जियो पॉलिटिक्स, ये सब चीज़ रिलेट करने की कोशिश करो, ताकि इट इज़ मोर इंटरेस्टिंग फॉर यू. आपके लिए आपका इंटरेस्ट बनता रहे और आप बहुत सारे चीज़ रिवाइज कर पाओ. मूविंग अहेड to our last news, that is the Indian Army has established Quantum Lab, and that is at Military College of Telecommunication Engineering, that is MCTE. So it is located at Mau, and that is in Madhya Pradesh. So Madhya Pradesh का capital क्या है बताइएगा? Very easy, मध्य प्रदेश का capital बताइएगा. Okay, so that's it. I hope you got some value from this content. If so, you know what to do, you know how to support, and not just our channel, yeah, support your friends. They will also get 1 or 2 questions right from these videos, might help them for gaining some knowledge also for their exams. So that's it. That's all about the initiative I have in my mind, and that's all about the dream I always see, that is helping out the maximum number of people I can. Okay, so that's it. That's CAPF for you. Have a great time ahead. All the very best.
Just then.
ये भी परेशान हो गए, हम भी परेशान हो गए. करो फिर, हमारी पावर है. जब तक हम कह रहे थे करो 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 तो कह रहे थे तुम करो. आज हमने कर दिया तो कह रहे हम करेंगे, तो करो ना भाई.